6 years ago, a woman named Margaret sat in my exam room. She was 76, but she looked 90. She was gripping a walker, her knuckles white and swollen with arthritis. Her daughter had brought her in because Margaret had begun wandering, forgetting where she was, losing her words, and feeling a deep, bone-weary exhaustion that no amount of sleep could fix. Her previous specialist had told her, "Margaret, it's just your time. At 76, the body starts to shut down. Here are 3 prescriptions for your heart, your joints, and your memory. Let's look into assisted living." That phrase, "it's just your time," is the most dangerous sentence in modern medicine. Margaret looked at me and whispered, "Dr. Thompson, I don't want to just exist. I want to live." Today, Margaret is 82. She doesn't use a walker. Last summer, she completed a 3-mile hike in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Her incurable brain fog? Gone. Her heart function? Better than it was a decade ago. What changed? We didn't add more pills. In fact, we reduced them. We utilized a biological reset, using 5 specific natural fruits that contain high-level signaling molecules. These molecules told her cells to stop dying and start repairing. 97% of doctors overlook this because they are trained to manage symptoms with chemicals, rather than feeding the mechanisms of life. In the next hour, I'm going to show you exactly what I showed Margaret. I'm going to give you the secret to beating the clock. Before we go any further, I need to know who is in this waiting room with me today. If you are over 50 and feeling the grind in your joints, if you are an office worker who feels like your brain is fried by 2 p.m., or if you are a mother who hasn't felt normal since your last pregnancy, I want you to do something. Pause this video right now. Go to the comments and type your age, your most frustrating health symptom, and your last blood pressure or glucose reading if you know it.
Why?
Because I want to prove to you that your symptoms are not a moral failing or a genetic curse. They are data points. By the end of this video, you will see how those numbers can change when you address the root cause. I have been a physician for over 30 years. I've delivered babies, I've performed surgeries, and I've sat with patients in their final hours. Over 3 decades, I realized something. The patients who live to 100 with a sharp mind and a strong body aren't lucky. They have unconsciously or consciously maintained their cellular software. My mission with this channel is to move you from sick care to health care. I want you to be independent. I want you to be the one teaching your grandkids how to garden, not the one watching them from a window. I am here to bridge the gap between rigorous clinical science and the wisdom of nature. Aging isn't a single event, it's an accumulation of small failures. Let's see how many failures your body is currently managing. Count these on your fingers. 1. The delayed wake-up. You wake up and your body feels heavy or stiff for more than 20 minutes. 2. The recovery gap. If you do a physical chore, like gardening or cleaning, you feel beat for the next 2 days. 3. The word search. You know the name of the person or the object, but it's stuck behind a curtain in your brain. 4. The visual fade. Your eyes feel tired, dry, or strained after just an hour of screen time or reading. 5. The digestive anchor. After eating, you feel like you need a nap because your body is using all its energy just to process the food. How many did you count? Comment that number below. If you have 3 or more, you are suffering from ischemia, poor microcirculation, oxidative stress, and chronic inflammation. Think of your body like a high-performance car. If you never change the oil turns into sludge. That sludge makes the engine run hot, which warps the metal. In your body, that sludge is damaged proteins and zombie cells, cells that refuse to die but don't function, instead secreting trash that poisons the healthy cells around them. The fruits we are about to discuss are the specialized cleanup crew for that sludge. We begin with the most powerful cellular cleanser known to science, the pomegranate. But I'm not talking about the sugary cocktail juices. I'm talking about the raw, potent compounds found in the seeds and the pith. Arthur, 68, was an executive who had spent 40 years in high-stress meetings. He told me he felt like a battery that wouldn't hold a charge. He was on statins and blood pressure meds, but he still felt dim. Within 12 weeks of starting our pomegranate protocol, his grip strength, a major predictor of longevity, increased by 20%, and his afternoon crash completely vanished. The secret lies in ellagitannins. When you consume pomegranate, your gut bacteria, specifically a strain called Akkermansia mucinifera, convert these into a molecule called urolithin A. Think of your mitochondria as the power plants of your cells. Over time, these power plants get clogged with soot. Urolithin A triggers mitophagy. This is a biological recycling program that identifies old, broken mitochondria, breaks them down, and uses the parts to build brand new, high-efficiency power plants. It's like replacing a 1970s coal plant with a modern Tesla battery wall inside every single cell. A 2019 study published in Nature Metabolism demonstrated that urolithin A improved muscle function in elderly humans and increased the lifespan of laboratory models by up to 45%. This wasn't just feeling better. This was a documented shift in cellular age. Practical guide. The dosage: 8 ounces of 100% pure, tart pomegranate juice, no added sugar, or 1 cup of fresh arils daily. The golden time: morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Your gut microbiome is most active in the morning, making the conversion to urolithin a more efficient. Notes: you must have a healthy gut to benefit. Combine this with fermented foods like kimchi or Greek yogurt to prime the bacteria that perform the conversion. Have you ever tried pomegranate juice and felt a zing of energy? Or does the tartness bother you? Let's talk about it in the comments. Next is the kiwifruit. Most people see it as a garnish. I see it as a DNA repair kit. Elena was 42 and had just had her 3rd child. She was depleted. Her hair was thinning, her skin was papery, and she felt she had aged a decade. She was worried about maternal depletion. We put her on a protocol of 2 kiwis a day, skin included. In 4 weeks, her skin glowed again, and her digestion, which had been sluggish since the birth, became regular for the first time in years. Kiwi is a dense source of vitamin C, vitamin E, and potassium, but its true power is in its DNA-protective antioxidants. Your DNA is like a library of books. Every day, vandal molecules called free radicals try to rip pages out of those books. Kiwi contains a unique blend of phytonutrients that act as security guards for the library. It also contains actinidin, a proteolytic enzyme. For office workers who sit all day, digestion becomes stagnant. Actinidin acts like a biological brush, breaking down proteins in the gut and preventing the heavy feeling that leads to systemic inflammation. The University of Oslo conducted research showing that eating 2 to 3 kiwis a day significantly reduced DNA damage and actually increased the cell's ability to repair their own DNA strands. This is the definition of anti-aging. Practical guide. The dosage: 2 kiwis per day. The golden rule: eat the skin. The fuzzy skin contains the highest concentration of fiber and DNA-repairing polyphenol. Simply wash it and eat it like a peach. The golden time: evening, with dinner. The fiber helps regulate blood sugar spikes from your evening meal, and the serotonin precursors in kiwi help improve your sleep, which is when DNA repair is most active. Who here is brave enough to eat the kiwi skin? Type Team Skin or No Way below. Trust me, try it once. When we talk about living to 100, we aren't just talking about the body, we are talking about the mind. The wild blueberry is the premier brain guard. Robert, a 72-year-old retired engineer, felt like his intellectual lamp was flickering. He was forgetting his keys, struggling with his grandkids' names, and feeling shadows in his peripheral vision. He feared dementia. We introduced a daily blueberry blitz. After 8 weeks, his score on a standard cognitive test improved by 15%. He told me, "Doctor, the lights are back on. The power is in the anthocyanins, the deep blue pigments. These molecules are unique because they can cross the blood-brain barrier. Think of your brain as a high-security vault. Very few nutrients are allowed in. Anthocyanins have the key. Once inside, they reduce inflammation in the hippocampus, the memory center, and increase BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. BDNF is like Miracle Grow for your brain cells. It helps you grow new neural connections and protects existing ones from withering due to stress or blue light from your computer screens. A major study in the Annals of Neurology followed 16,000 women for over 20 years. Those who consumed high amounts of blueberries and strawberries delayed their cognitive aging by an average of 2.5 years. In the world of neurology, that is a monumental victory. Practical guide. The dosage: 1 cup of wild blueberries daily. Note: cultivated, large blueberries are good, but wild blueberries have 2x the antioxidant capacity and 3x the anthocyanins. Find them in the frozen section. The golden time, mid-afternoon, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. This is when office brain sets in. The blueberries provide a glucose-stable energy boost and clear the oxidative fog from your morning's work. Pairing: eat them with 5 to 6 walnuts. The omega-3 fats in the walnuts act as a shuttle to help the anthocyanins reach the brain. Do you prefer your blueberries in a smoothie or just raw? Tell me your favorite way to eat them. 4. The Lipid Harmonizer, the avocado. Yes, the avocado is a fruit. For my patients over 50, I call it the biological oil change. Linda, 58, was suffering from creaky joints and high LDL cholesterol. She felt dry. Her skin was dry, her eyes were dry, and her movements felt grinding. She was terrified of going on heavy statins. We added half an avocado to her daily lunch. Within 2 months, her skin had regained its suppleness, and her joint pain had decreased by 40%. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fatty acids, MUFAs, and lutein. Your cell membranes are made of fats. If you eat processed junk fats, your cell membranes become brittle, like a dry rubber band. If you eat avocado fats, your membranes become pliable and resilient. This allows nutrients to enter the cell and waste to exit. Furthermore, the lutein in avocado acts like internal sunglasses. It deposits in the macula of your eye, protecting your vision from the oxidative damage of aging and screen use. A study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that eating 1 avocado a day helped lower bad LDL cholesterol in overweight and obese individuals, specifically the small, dense LDL that causes arterial plaques. Practical guide. The dosage: a half a medium avocado daily. The golden time, lunch. Avocado is incredibly satiating. It shuts down hunger hormones, ghrelin, preventing the 3 p.m. sugar craving that causes the insulin spikes, which accelerate aging. Note: do not cook the avocado at high heat. Heat oxidizes the delicate healthy fats. Eat it raw, mashed, or sliced. What's your avocado secret? A dash of sea salt? A squeeze of lime? Share your tips below for the rest of the community. Finally, we have the papaya, the most underrated fruit in the longevity arsenal. I call it the enzyme master. David, a 62-year-old office worker, had chronic systemic inflammation. His joints ached, he was always bloated, and his CRP levels, a blood marker for inflammation, were elevated. He felt like his body was on fire. We started him on a pre-dinner papaya routine. In 6 weeks, his bloating disappeared, and his all-over ache faded. He felt light for the first time in 20 years. Papaya contains papain and chymopapain. These are proteolytic enzymes. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at breaking down proteins. These undigested proteins can leak into the bloodstream, leaky gut, causing the immune system to go into a frenzy. This is the root of inflammaging. Papain acts like a chemical scrubber. It breaks down those inflammatory protein complexes and cleans the intestinal wall. It also contains more lycopene than tomatoes, which protects your heart and skin from UV damage. Research published in Nutrients, 2018, showed that fermented papaya preparation significantly reduced oxidative stress markers in the elderly and improved the respiratory burst of immune cells, meaning it helped their immune systems see and kill threats more effectively. Practical guide. The dosage: 1 cup of fresh, ripe papaya. The golden time: 20 minutes before your largest meal, usually dinner. This allows the enzymes to prime the stomach to handle the coming protein, preventing the fermentation that causes aging-related inflammation. Note: if you are brave, chew 2 or 3 of the black seeds. They contain potent anti-parasitic and gut-cleansing compounds. They taste like black pepper. Have you ever used papaya as a digestive aid? Does it work for you? Let me know. Finally, we have the papaya, the most underrated fruit in the longevity arsenal. I call it the enzyme master. David, a 62-year-old office worker, had chronic systemic inflammation. His joints ached, he was always bloated, and his CRP levels, a blood marker for inflammation, were elevated. He felt like his body was on fire. We started him on a pre-dinner papaya routine. In 6 weeks, his bloating disappeared, and his all-over ache faded. He felt light for the first time in 20 years. Papaya contains papain and chymopapain. These are proteolytic enzymes. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at breaking down proteins. These undigested proteins can leak into the bloodstream, leaky gut, causing the immune system to go into a frenzy. This is the root of inflammaging. Papain acts like a chemical scrubber. It breaks down those inflammatory protein complexes and cleans the intestinal wall. It also contains more lycopene than tomatoes, which protects your heart and skin from UV damage. Research published in Nutrients, 2018, showed that fermented papaya preparation significantly reduced oxidative stress markers in the elderly and improved the respiratory burst of immune cells, meaning it helped their immune systems see and kill threats more effectively. Practical guide. The dosage: 1 cup of fresh, ripe papaya. The golden time: 20 minutes before your largest meal, usually dinner. This allows the enzymes to prime the stomach to handle the coming protein, preventing the fermentation that causes aging-related inflammation. Note: if you are brave, chew 2 or 3 of the black seeds. They contain potent anti-parasitic and gut-cleansing compounds. They taste like black pepper. Have you ever used papaya as a digestive aid? Does it work for you? Let me know.